am reigneth, let the people tremble. He sitteth between the cherubs, and let the earth be moved. The I am is great in Zion. He is the high above all the people. Let them praise that great and terrible name, for it is holy. The king's strength also loveth judgment. Thou dost establish equity. Thou executest judgment and righteousness in Jacob. Exalt ye the I am our God, and worship at his footstool, for he is holy. Moses and Aaron among his priests, Samuel among them that call upon his name. And they called upon the I am, and he answered them. He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar, and they kept his testimonies and the ordinance that he gave them. Thou answerest them, O Yahweh our God. Thou wast a God that forgavest them, though thou tookest vengeance on their inventions. Exalt the I am our God, and worship at his holy hill, for the I am our God is holy. Yes, yes, yes. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts. Let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We thank God for you, and also we thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, those of you that have been with us here and there's about, and we thank God for those of you who have just subscribed, and also those of you who are about to subscribe. We give God the glory, and those of you who just want to view, just want to sneak in and peek every now and then, we thank God for you too, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes, and don't forget to like, share, and just comment. We welcome that. We thank God for you, and you. Yes, we look at the things that are happening in the world where the heathen mock God and they mock everything. The heathen, they're just not who you think they are. The heathen can look like you too, look like me. Yes, they can. And the fact is that many are mocking God. You go on certain social medias, they laugh at the word of God, they laugh, and they do not understand the Most High. You know what? Sometimes these people are the very ones that God will draw in quickly, because some of them are honestly ignorant. Honestly, they don't know, and the Satans are always against them. Many, they say one Satan. When you say Satan, you make him, this one you call Satan, equal with God. There are many Satans. They are what you call demons. They are what you call evil spirits, fallen angels or messengers, as you will call them. Fallen spirits that used to be with God but fell away from God. Yes, these are what you are calling one entity. But then you're going to call God a Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. He's going to be many, where you have this wicked entity that fell away from God because he failed to obey God. And you're going to make him one. You see the equation in this thing? Do you see the subtraction, division, and all this here? God is one God. He has no other. He begets none. He creates. Yes, he didn't just go in there and to even think about him creating a baby inside of the woman in his own law that he given unto Moses. In other words, we already have that in our heart. But the fact is that there was the measure of judgment, so that you would be without excuse in the day of judgment. See, many people will gaslight. They think they're gaslighting God. They think they're taking God and taking him for a fool. They think this is just a fictitious being. No, he's not. The law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances are therefore a measure of righteousness, whereby man may be able to judge himself, to see whether he stand wickedly before his Creator or righteously. This is why you got the patriarchs there saying, I stood flawless before you. I stood perfect, and I did all the things that you said. God is God, period. He knows. And sometimes we do not understand. That's why it's so important that we learn God through what? Reading his word and pondering on the things that is said, reading the history. His word is the law, because that came out of Mount Sinai. That came from the mount that Moses went up. Yes, it did. But the rest is history on how God reacted toward men who went against his law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances, although they agreed to obey these things. All in their seed is held accountable also. Many don't want to be held accountable. We don't want to be held accountable for our fornications, our adulteries, our lying, our gaslighting, our murders, our debates, our deceits. We don't want to be held accountable. We find excuses of why we're innocent. But the measure is there. What measure of love do you have except for the law? What measure of morality you have except for the law? What measure of dedication to the Most High except for the law? In that you will have no other gods before him. You would keep the Sabbath day. Yes, and you will not make any graven images in the earth or beneath the earth or anything, in the skies. No, to worship him. You will not bow down to them. No, you will not. Because this makes you a worshiper of the Most High. See, man has a standard. He created things to make you think that this is God. No, God has a strict way of worshiping him, and that is by our obedience and love for him. Yes, it is. Yahweh, Yahuwah, Deheya, Tata Nzambe, Sininanine. Yes, in whatever language you have that you say God or the I am in. Yes, the God of Adam. Excuse me. Yes, the God of Adam. Now we're in the book of 2 Kings. The book of 2 Kings. Yes, the book of 2 Kings. And now remember, on the Sabbath, we're not going to do this. We're going to record the law. 2 Kings chapter 21 is where we're at as you prepare. But we're just going to do the law. We're going to say the law. We're going to post it. And we're going to, and if you feel like you want to hear the law, it's going to be there. We're going to take it slow with the law on just that very day. It's going to be posted before the Sabbath, really. It's going to be posted, or it's going to be where it's ready to go forth. But the thing is that the law should always be rehearsed in the ears of our children, should be rehearsed in our ears. We should rehearse the law, because there's so many fake things in the world. There's so many people that do not know the law. You hear the preacher in the morning if you're a Christian and you get up and he called himself quoting the law and he paraphrases a lie. Hear the law. By this we will see and know and experience the miracles, the power, the majesty of the Most High is through the law. See, this is why you don't experience God. This is why God can't be. You don't keep the law. You don't keep it. You rather go and, you listen to these people regardless of whether it's Jesus or whoever you say it is, Yahweh Shai or Yahusha or whatever. The fact is that he says that, or it's written from him, you have heard of all of them, that it wasn't them. How many people have said, he's saying that of them of old, thou shalt not commit adultery. Did not God say that? It's blasphemy right in itself. Whether it be him that said it or they have inserted it. Them of old. This is a red flag as to false doctrine. A red flag. Nevertheless, let's continue. Just remember, he did not say God. You've heard that God said. God said that. He actually wrote it with his fingers on a tablet according to that narrative that Moses recorded. Now, here we go again. What does God say? In 2 Kings chapter 21. Yes, 2 Kings chapter 21. Manasseh, now he has taken the place of his father Hezekiah. Hezekiah was the one who really, he showed Babylon all that we've read before. He showed them all of Israel. He showed them all the gold and where it was hidden and all this other stuff. Just like if you let a stranger in your house and you show them all that you have and brag on what you have. Next thing you know, you come about maybe 6 months later and it's all gone. Somebody to ransack. See, they're not going to rob your house as soon as the man hits it. They're going to wait a few more because they already got their lineup. If they see things of value that they can make money off of, you're not going to have that anymore. You can have alarms and all this stuff. They'll just break right in. It only takes so many seconds to break in a house and know what things are. If you know what things are, you can get it in so many seconds and you're out of there before the alarm even goes out. You done screed down the road and gone. They done their lick and headed out. So Hezekiah, he did the wrong thing. He showed his thing, he showed all his secrets and his wealth to looters, or those who had a heart to loot him, which was the king of Babylon. And God told him this is what's going to come upon the children of Israel. So Hezekiah, it's okay. At least I got 15 years. I ain't worried about it. Now, 15 years is quite a while. Yes, it is. And so Manasseh began to reign and reigned 55 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Hephzibah. Now, he did that which was evil in the sight of the I Am. Now, these are the kings that are after the line of David in Judah. Because Israel was carried away into the land of the Medes. You know, whether they skirted around and got through, and some made it into the land we call Africa, or Akabulan, as some say, and, you know, made their way, you know, wherever they had to go. Judah was still there. Now, because they were in the north toward the Euphrates. That is northern Israel, that which is toward the Euphrates River, if you're looking at your Google Maps. Now, he did that which was evil in the sight of the I Am, after the abomination of the heathen whom the I Am cast out before the children of Israel. This is why. See, that's even why, you know, SA, unless you get rid of all the things and the things that are set up by those who have colonized you, they will always colonize you. You SA, you sit up there, you allow, after your apartheid, you allow them to still have the land. You allow them to still have what they stole and still exercise authority over you. See, now you're catching hell in high water because you did not eradicate and didn't have that expropriation without compensation before, directly after you were delivered out of apartheid. Now you have a mentality of you're confused. You don't know what's going on. It's time to grow some muscle. Time to grow some bravery, some responsibility and accountability, and be ready to take your land. Yes, you can let them live there. It's okay. I mean, we live everywhere, so what? But the fact is, not to a few over the many, as they well do in every country they go to. The few over the many, because first it's the mind. You've been watching Tarzan, you've been watching all these other movies, and then you sit up there, you got your Bibles and all of this, and your mind is just gone. You have to get out of that mindset. But nevertheless, let's keep going. Excuse me. Now, verse 3, he built up again the high places which Hezekiah his father had destroyed. And he reared up the altars of Baal and made a grove and did as did Ahab the king of Israel, and worship all the host of heaven and serve them. Everything, the first commandments, the first few commandments in what God had delivered unto Moses. It's not Moses' law. Moses didn't make that law up. That law has been since the beginning, since the time of Adam. Adam was the longest living man on the face of the earth. Yet alone the first man. He would have lived forever if he wouldn't have, allowed Eve to take him down a line that he knew not to go. This is why he suffered even greater. Now, he built up altars in the house of the I Am, which the I Am said, in Jerusalem I will put my name. In Jerusalem I will put my name, he says. And he built altars for all the hosts of heaven in the two courts of the house of the I Am. What altars did he build? The gods of the Canaanites and the Egyptians. This is what he built up. And this is what the evil spirits are working on today. This is why you have all these naysayers and all these people that doubt what God had put forth in this narrative or in this Bible or the books, from all the way from Enoch all the way to what? Malachi and those in between and thereof. I'm not talking about the New Testament. But either way, that's what he did. And he set a graven image in verse 7. He said a graven image. Let's go back to 6. I skipped over again. And he made his son pass through the fire. You know what God that is. That's the M God. And observed times and used enchantments and dealt with familiar spirits and wills. And don't people do it in Christianity today? They do this thing. Yes, they do. In different places where they do things, and then they say what you do is wrong. You cannot even, they will call the law enforcement on you if you sacrifice and burn a big bonfire in your yard with a goat. You have just slit his throat and split him open. And then you burn the rest of them from where you had designated where you should. Oh, yes, they would do it, but yet they will glorify wizardry and wizards and witchcraft and all manner of evil. Idol worship, as they did, I believe that was Italy or somewhere. They had the great bull of France or wherever they had it. Somebody correct me on that. But either way, and they worship the great bronze, or should I say brass bull, on main television. It was an Olympic deal. Gave him more adoration than God. A domestic animal that you could just have beefsteak, hamburger, nothing. See, this is how the demons and the spirits make mockery of mankind. And do you not know even the animals that we sit up there and we animate into being humans and all? This is a form of idolatry. It's grooming your children to become idolaters before the Most High. When they watch the little teddy bear like a human, oh, that's so cute, isn't it? But you're being groomed. This is the auspices of devils. You're being groomed into idolatry, into demon worship. And these things will play in their mind as they grow. And some, not all, some will actually turn into witches and of the dark, should I say. There's nothing artistic about that. The art is holiness. Yes. So he, in verse 7, he set graven images of a grove and made the house of which the I Am said to David and to Solomon his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all tribes of Israel, I will put my name forever. His name is still there, but he's not there. He said that to them, forever. Okay, it's there. It's not there. That's why that Jerusalem you think is suffering so bad. He ain't running them out. That's not Jerusalem. Jerusalem is further south. Further south. It's called Teladad. It was first Jebus. That was the city of David. Read about it in 1 Kings. Now, And even though the thing that when Abraham, he was in that area, he looked over and he saw the smoke of, should I say, Sodom go up, because the sulfur right there south, the southern part of the Dead Sea. The southern part of the Dead Sea is where you find the sulfur, not the northern part. See, they gaslighting you again. You're not reading, you're not studying, you're not watching, you're not listening how God is trying to reveal things to you and show you. You're not listening. And all that. And in the city of Lot was just what? East. East of the Dead Sea, the southern part of the Dead Sea was east of it. Yes, it was. And we don't see that. And this is where Lot hid in the caves. But we got problems. I know that much. We believe because of a lighter skin, because of a straighter hair, we think we've been manipulated into thinking that is deity, when it's nothing. Not all, but many of us still do, deep down in our subconsciousness. It's by their ancestors. It's not by them, but by their ancestors. They just perpetuate it, trying to keep it going. In other words, I can say whatever I say is right. Yeah, the devil is a lie. But either way, now, here we go, which I have chosen out of all tribes to put my name forever. So he said he will put his name forever in Jerusalem. Right now, Jerusalem is desolate. Although the temple half stands and it's nothing there, the temple is desolate. It's not leveled all the way to the ground. He said, no, didn't your Easter say no stone upon the other? That means it shouldn't have been no stone, but there were stones there. They buried that Jerusalem, but God blew a wind over it and exposed it. Now, there was a Jerusalem in that day. If you read the book of Jasher, there was a king of Jerusalem during that time. Yes, it was. He said, in 8, neither will I make the feet of Israel move any more out of the land which I gave their fathers, only if they will observe. Now see, this is the catch from verse 7 and verse 8. This is the condition. Only I will put my name there forever. Neither will I make the feet of Israel move any more out of the land which I gave their fathers, only if they will observe to do according to all that I have commanded them, and according to all the law that my servant Moses commanded them. Yes, but they hearkened not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil than did the nations whom I am destroyed before the children of Israel. He went back to Egypt, he came to Canaan, he drawed all those devils and demons back, and their idols, which they have manipulated the minds and dreams of men to invent. And the I am spake this by his servants, the prophets, saying, because Manasseh king of Judah hath done these abominations, and have done wickedly above all the Amorites, all that the Amorites did which were before him, and have made Judah also to sin with his idols. Therefore thus saith the I am of Israel, behold, I am bringing such an evil upon Jerusalem and Judah, that whosoever heareth it of it, both his ears shall tingle. Verse 13, and I will stretch over Jerusalem in the line of Samaria, and plummet to the house of Ahab. And I will wipe Jerusalem as a man wipeth a dish, wiping it. You know, I'm going to get rid of it. Yes, that's what he said. I'm getting rid of it. I'm wiping you out. And this is what he did. Now, who occupies that now? Those who you call Arabs or Palestinians or whatever you call them. That's who occupies that area now, because he wiped it. And look at you now. Look at your youth. They curse God. They bringing him down to nothing. They're reading books by the heathen that have been lies, instead of reading this book that God had preserved. And letting God deal with their minds as to what is true and what is not. And then in verse 14, I will forsake the remnant of my inheritance. That's what he said, he will forsake. And so you wonder, where is God? You wonder, where is God? You wonder why his miracles are not here. You wonder why he says he's this and he's that and there is nothing. Even those of you that believe on your Yahushua or Yahusha or your Jesus the Christ or whatever you're talking about, you're still wondering, where is God? Why does he not do his no more miracles today? Why are we still in the same situation? You say God's ways are not right, but God says it's not your ways not right. He's God. He can do what he wants. He can wipe the whole world if he wants to as a dish rag over a dish. He says, I will forsake the remnant of mine inheritance. Yes, the children of Jacob are, and I will deliver them into the hands of their enemies, and they shall become prey and a spoil to all their enemies. This is why you have certain nations over you. They were nothing. But now there is something. The head has become the tail, and the tail the head. This is why. Because they have done that which was evil in my sight and have provoked me to anger since the day of their fathers. Their fathers came forth out of Egypt, even unto this day. You are, instead of learning and understanding the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and cleaving to those things, yes, you, Jacob, even those of you who are carried here to the U.S., those of you who are carried all over the world, scattered, you have cleaved to the gods of the enemy of God, even to your Isis, your Yahushua, and your Yahusha. No, he's going to strike you down, regularly. No, my friend. You have taken unto idols any man worship. Did they worship Moses? Yet he delivered. They didn't see God. All they saw was smoke and stuff. He delivered them. Did they worship Elijah? Did they call him the Son of God? Did they worship and bow before him? Did they make an image of him? Did they worship any of the prophets that have done greater than what this Isis you talking about have done? Huh? No. They knew better. They did not worship him at all. And because thou hast done which was evil in my sight, and have provoked me to anger since the day of their fathers came forth out of Egypt, even unto this day, you still do the same thing. 304ing, adultery, fornication, everything under the book and under the sun. Don't you not know these things are kept up by the heathen for you, to put you on drugs, to put you on everything, to turn you backwards? Because if you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, the curse part, you're going to find out that the fact is, this is what is happening. You fail to teach your children. You take them to the church, the pagan church. I call it a Christian church. Your pagan Christian church. You take them to all the other pagan churches. You take them to kiss the rock and follow after men, hold men in high esteem rather than God. The first few commandments is mainly where we falter. We falter, and God will not hear us. And yet we mock at him because he will not hear us. Yet he has compassion upon us. He has mercy on us. Yes, he does. But he's going to do it until he can destroy everything that don't get close enough to him where he can be pleased with them. Yes, he is. And that's through his statutes, commandments, ordinances, and laws. Yes. Because they have done that which was evil in my sight, verse 15, and have provoked me to anger since the day their fathers came forth out of Egypt, even to this day. Moreover, Manasseh shed innocent blood very much till he had filled Jerusalem with from one end to another. You know, he was killing his own people. Besides his sin wherewith he hath made Judah to sin in doing that which was evil in the sight of the I Am. This is why you're in the predicament you are now. Now the rest of the act of Manasseh and all that he did and his sin that he sinned, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the king of Judah? And Manasseh slept with his fathers and was buried in the garden in his own house, in the garden of Uzzah. Ammon, his son, reigned in his stead. Now you have to realize in the book of Enoch it talks about two areas. There was a gulf between them. Did not the people who concocted the New Testament know this and that they had made it, that this Easter said the same thing, but in a different way. There was a gulf between them. There was a part for the wicked dead. It was full of flames. He called it hell. They call it hell. That's what the heathen called it. Then there was a part where the righteous dead were resting. There was streams and water. There was a beautiful garden, paradisio. Yes, that means beautiful garden. Yes, in the what? The language of the Persian, paradisio. Paradise means beautiful garden. That's what it means. See, you have to realize English is borrowed language. It's borrowed from many other languages. Yes. In verse 19, Amnon was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 2 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name, this is where they talk about their mothers. Well, their mother a great influence in their evil or in their righteousness. The daughter of Haras of Jotbah. Yes, and he did that which is evil in the sight of the Lord, as is his father Manasseh did. And he walked in all the way that his father walked in and served idols that his father served and worshipped them. Because they Anunnaki or whatever you want to call them. And he forsook the I am his father and walked not in the way of the I am. And his servants and the servants of Ammon conspired against him and slew the king in his own house. In other words, God, he touched somebody's heart and said, get this fool out of here. And the people of the land slew all of them that conspired against the king of Ammon. And the people of the land made Josiah, his son, king in his stead. Now the rest of the acts of Ammon which he did, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the king of Judah? And he was buried in his sepulchre in the garden of Uzzah. And Josiah his son reigned in his stead. The first commandments, thou shalt not have any gods before me. Yes, and with that, if we do that which is right, we're going to have peace.
Walk with me.